Hello, welcome to Secure Video Conference. I'd like to do a quick tour for you of your conference room. As the host, you will have been sent a username and password. Please go ahead and enter it here on the host login page, and then click on Connect to Secure Server. The Audio Video Wizard shows up first, and in here you'll be able to set up any audio, headset, speakers, and video, and make sure that everything's functioning within the conference room. During the Audio Video Wizard, you will be asked to confirm that you want to allow the Adobe Flash Player settings. Go ahead and click Allow. Alright, so here's your conference room. As you can see, there is pods down the left-hand side, attendees, chat, notes, a larger pod in the center, currently called Shared Desktop, and then menuing across the top and bottom. I'm just going to do a quick overview of some of these features, and we'll move on to the meeting tools. Share My Desktop, Live Video Conferencing, Co-Browser, Present Video, Document Center, Whiteboard, and Meeting are all available in that drop-down menu. I'm going to just touch on each one of these briefly. Share My Desktop. As you can see when you log into the conference room, the Shared Desktop screen is the first one that comes up. It serves two purposes. The first one being your start screen. It's the place that you can have your branding, your logo, your welcome message. It is the first screen your guest will see when they log into the conference room. The other purpose it has is to actually share your computer's desktop with your guest. And in order to activate that feature, you be on this pod under Meeting Tools, clicking on Shared Desktop, and then go over to the far right of the menuing across the top and choose Shared Desktop. When you choose Shared Desktop there, it'll actually pop up with a window here asking you to go ahead and click Start Screen Sharing. So you'll go ahead and do that, and anything you've got on your desktop will then become visible to your guest. So maybe it's a PowerPoint or another document that you'd like to show. Alright, under the Meeting Tools you also have Live Video Conferencing. Here you can choose the size of video you'd like to display. For instance, if you're doing a one-on-one meeting, you've got more of the facial features and body language that you want to be able to see, you'll want to choose the larger video size. Just keep in mind bandwidth and things like that that may affect that in your area. Co-Browser. The Co-Browser is a great place for you to share a web page right inside the conference room with your guest. It's a live web page you can see, so you just put in the URL, it brings it up, and you and your guest are able to view that web page together inside the conference room. Next is Present Video. If you've created a video, or maybe you found a video on YouTube that you would like to play for your guest and discuss, you can go ahead and load that URL here under Present Video, and then you also have player controls right here in the room. The Document Center. The Document Center allows you to upload and download files. So for instance, if there's a form or a template you need your guest to download, you can go ahead and upload it here. Your guest can then download it if they have given the rights to do so. Alternately, you can also have your guest upload maybe a document that you need from them, and then you of course can download that from here. The whiteboard. We do get into this in more detail in a tutorial in the help section. However, I am just going to run through quickly the features that are here. So you've got the select tool, the pointer tool, the pen tool, and in order to find all of these options you would just choose that little black corner on the pen tool, click on it, and this toolbox will expand. You've got the grid tool, the eraser tool, the rhombus tool, the delete all tool, fill color, stroke color, thickness, which is your line thickness, and your background color. Of course, there's the typical undo, redo buttons, and if you've created a whiteboard that you and your guest would like to refer back to at a later time, you can save the whiteboard, and then of course when you're ready, load it back up. Now when you've got the whiteboard activated, you can also create multiple whiteboards during your session. You can have one under tab 1 and go ahead and click on tab 2 or add a tab, and you can create multiple whiteboards referring back to ones that you've already done. For instance, you can toggle back and forth between whiteboard tab 1 and tab 2. Alright, of course last but not least you have end meeting. Of course it's self-explanatory, however, just so you understand, it will log out all of your guests but leave you as the host logged in. This allows you the opportunity to clear anything out of the room that may need to be cleaned up, such as the chat or the notes, prepping you for your next meeting. I'm just going to touch on a few other features within the conference room before we end this tour. You'll note there's an audio video wizard button across the top. That's so that you can access that wizard again during the meeting if needed to make any adjustments. There's also a button for the help menu that will send you to the tutorials. Over to the far right, you'll see a little stopwatch. When you click on that, it starts. When you click on it again, it ends. That allows you to do things within the conference room that are timed. Maybe you're going to spend 10 minutes discussing a certain topic. You can set that little stopwatch, and at the 10-minute mark, you know that you need to move on to your next topic. And of course, next to that, you have the little lock symbol, which is showing you and your guest that while in the conference room, you have 256-bit encryption. All right, along the bottom, let's discuss those things. Raised hand. Raised hand puts a little hand up beside your name, as you'll note there. That allows your guests to raise their hand instead of interrupting you audibly. They can raise their hand, allowing you an opportunity to address them regarding their question or their comment. The Talk Hands-Free button puts a little speaker beside your name when you've clicked it on, and when you or your guest is speaking, green bars will show up across the bottom. When you're speaking and you see the green bars, you know that your voice is being transmitted into the conference room. And right beside that is the little webcam icon. That webcam icon also shows up beside your name, indicating that you are transmitting video at that moment into the conference room. As you can see on the Share Desktop main pod, which of course happens as well when you have the whiteboard up or the Present Video or some of the other pods, you will see a small version of the video showing there when you're transmitting your webcam. Of course, if you'd like to see larger video, you do need to use the live video conferencing page in order to see the video bigger. All right, toggle view. As you'll note, I'll go back one step here. The attendees chat and notes pods off to the left-hand side, when you click toggle view, disappear. The reason for that is it allows you to focus the attention of your guest onto a particular thing you're showing. Maybe it's something on the whiteboard or maybe something in the Present Video, and you don't want the distraction of the chat. All right, that is everything for today, and that's our quick tour of Secure Video Conference. Thank you for joining me.